So students, welcome to this first class of your optimization of chemical processes course, and all of you must be having this syllabus. The code is TCH506 and the name of the course is Optimization of Chemical Processes, or OCP, and this is your criteria. And after then the course objective you can read from here to understand the concepts and origin of the different optimization methods, etc. And these are your COPO, that after completing your course you must be able to learn all these techniques. So you can read it from here, and now this is just matching. So we are coming to the main point, that is the module 1. I think that by mistake this is a printing mistake, 1 is not there. So it is like this: introduction to process optimization, formulation of various process optimization problems and their classification, basic concepts of optimization, convex and concave functions, necessary and sufficient conditions for stationary points. So in module 1 we will discuss all these aspects, and in module 2 you can see that optimization of one-dimensional functions, etc. You can read from here. Various methods are there. In module 3 multivariate optimization algorithm, module 4 linear programming, module 5 some more advanced problems, transportation problem, optimization of staged and discrete process, dynamic programming, etc. And the books, the most important things, the books, these will be, we will be having these books: Himenblau, optimization of chemical process, and Beveridge and R.S. Schreicher, optimization theory and practice, and Taha. So basically we will concentrate on this book. We will base our course on this book, so you should have access to this book. You can search it on the net and you will find its PDF. So we come to the module 1 now, and in 7 classes we will have this much, these many sections completed. So I am taking the first chapter of Himenblau book. First we will just have some kind of introduction, so that the idea is clear to you that what kind of things we are going to study in this. So the nature and organization of optimization problems. First of all, we would like to know what is this optimization. So it says that optimization is the use of specific methods to determine the most cost effective and efficient solution to a problem or design for a process. So actually cost comes into picture, and not only cost, but how efficient we will make our problem, how we will carry out our process, chemical process. If you are talking about chemical engineering, cost is not sufficient. You minimize the cost, but your the process should be efficient also. So that is the aim of optimization, that to determine the most cost effective and efficient solution to a problem, or if you are designing the process. And this technique is one of the major quantitative tools in industrial decision making. So optimization is a tool, actually it is a technique through which you find the cost effective and efficient solution. And a wide variety of problems in the design, construction. So these are the designing aspects, and then when you carry out the operation of the plant, then also it plays important role. And after then, analysis of chemical plants. So all these things can be resolved by optimization in this chapter. So this you can read from here. So all these things you can read from here. Why to optimize? Why are engineers interested in optimization? So this line says that engineers work to improve the initial design of equipment and strive to enhance the operation of that equipment once it is installed, so as to realize. Why they are doing all these things? To realize the largest production. That is the main aim. And the greatest profit, largest production, greatest aim, the minimum cost, and the least energy uses, and so on. There are many aims of any process that you are carrying out, chemical process plant. Monetary value provides a convenient measure of different but otherwise incompatible objectives, but money comes into picture, but not all problems have to be considered in a monetary framework. So there are many other problems where you have to optimize some process with respect to some other objective other than money, cost, etc. So all these things you can I think that you are already aware of all these things, so I don't think that I need to make it more clear to you what is optimization. So we are coming to the topic now. We come to the examples or application of optimization. So optimization can be applied in numerous ways to chemical process and plants. Typical projects in which optimization has been used include determining the best site for plant location. So kind of transportation thing. Actually your plant needs raw materials and various services, manpower you can say, and then you have to have a market to sell your product. So based upon these data or information, you have to have your plant in that location that will be having the minimum transportation cost kind of thing. So it is kind of optimization problem. Number 2, routing tankers for the distribution of crude and refined products. So what is the minimum distance that is possible to distribute our products and the raw materials to the plant? Sizing and layout of a pipeline, designing equipment and entire plants. So this is a very complex actually topic, but they are giving you some very basic idea about the area of optimization where you will have them. Scheduling maintenance and equipment replacement, that is also very important. At what time of the year you have to maintain and you have to do maintenance work. Maybe possible that at some point in a year you need to have the production maximum, so that time you cannot do maintenance work, and you can replace the equipments that time when demand is less in comparison to other time of the year. That time you can do these kind of maintenance and replacement things. So you have to optimize these things also. And after then operation of equipments, there also great scope of optimizing. Evaluating plant data to construct a model of a process. Minimizing inventory charges. When you operate your plant, you need raw materials or some inventory of materials are there, they have charge, you have to invest money in that. So it is all about that, allocating resources of services among several processes, planning and scheduling construction. So these examples provide an introduction to the types of variables. So you can see that how many types of variables are there that you have to optimize. An objective function, all these things we will know in as our course goes ahead, and constraints. So this sentence gives you a very important thing: type of variables, how many variables are there in your process, and what objective function, what function you have to optimize. It can be cost, or it can be area or volume, etc., and under what constraints you have to optimize it. So these three important points we will discuss in our coming chapters, and in this section we provide 4 illustrations of, okay, this is so example number 1 is important, you should read this, and it says optimal insulation thickness. So it gives you very good description of this. So what is this? You are insulating a vessel. Its outside temperature is, when it is not insulated, means during the operation its bare surface has got 700 degree Fahrenheit temperature, and the room temperature is 70 Fahrenheit. So at this time, when you have not provided any insulation, the heat loss by the surface is 4000 BTU per hour and per feet square area. And if you add 1 inch of calcium silicate insulation over it, only 1 inch, the loss will drop to 250 BTU. So, and also you will have to invest money in insulating. So the cost that for insulation is $4 for 1 feet square area, and cost of energy is $5 per this much BTU. So when you calculated it, you found that during the year you saved $164. So after then it is of no use. Actually they are showing that in what time the cost that the money you have invested in your insulation, that in what time you will recover that money. So that is not our area of study actually. So they are saying that out of this savings they are adding one more layer, 1 inch additional 1 inch of layer they add, I think in next month you can say, or they are saying that they are adding it in 1/2 inch of increment every time. So this way capital cost will increase because you need to invest money in that, and but the energy savings will also increase like this. You can see that here, this is the, you can see this is the actually curve. Here you are increasing the insulation thickness, and here cost is here, this is your cost. So first when you had no insulation here, you can say, then your cost all the cost was coming out of the energy loss. And then you provided this thickness, that is the 1 inch thickness you provided, and the cost of lost energy was this, and the cost of insulation was this. So you all these add this data, so the total cost is this. After then you added 0.5 inch again here after 6 months or 1 month, then your cost decreased this much. After then again you, out of this savings, you added this additional 0.5 inch, then your total cost came here. After then this way you see that total cost is decreasing, and it came up to this point. And after then you saw that when you added one more 0.5 inch layer, so the cost of insulation increased, and when you added all these things, it is coming here. So after the minimum, the cost is increasing. Now after then you see that when you are adding more layers of insulation, your cost is rapidly increasing. So you can say that if you are doing this much in the thickness of insulation, then your cost is this much. So it is not something optimized thing. The thing you can do here also. So what is this? That seeing this curve, you can find that we should keep the thickness of the insulation this much. Then your cost will be minimum. This cost will be of the insulation, and this cost will be the energy that you are losing, and when you will add them, you will get here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 inch of insulation you can put around your pipe or vessel, then you will have the minimum cost. So in a way, this must have given you some idea about optimization, and we did not involve any mathematics in this, just in a very theoretical way we understood what is this optimization about. So in the next lecture we will go deeper into our syllabus. So for this we keep our lecture up to here, and you can see this lecture and read the book so that we can start the next lecture. So thank you very much for this.